Okay, so we're going to be having a quick look at pie charts, both interpreting and drawing them. I will do an example first, we'll do some together, and then have a go by yourself. So, I asked 60 people what their favourite movie was. Here is a pie chart of that data. The first thing I want to do, if I want to find out how many people chose the Addams Family as their favourite, is write down my formula, which is angle over 360. This is because there are 360 degrees around a point or in a circle, and then multiplied by our total number of people. So if I'm doing the Addams Family first, I'm going to get my protractor out, start at the 0, and then go around until I get to 90. So it's 90 degrees. My total number of people is 60. So I'm going to do 90 degrees over 360 multiplied by 60, 15. So 15 people chose the Addams Family. Um, let's see how many chose Shin Kamen Rider as their favorite movie. So we're going to write out our formula, which is angle over 360, because there are 360 degrees around a point, multiplied by our total number of people. My angle is 120 because I start on the 0, follow it all the way around to the 120. How many people did I ask? I asked 60 people. I'm now going to substitute my numbers in. So angle over 360 is going to be 120 over 360, then multiplied by 60 itself, which is going to be 25. Let's do one more. I want to find out how many people chose Godzilla Minus One as their favourite movie. I'm going to get my protractor out, and I'm going to start at 0, follow all the way around, and I'm going to see it's 150 degrees. How many people in total? 60. So I'm going to do the fraction of the pie, 150 degrees out of 360, then times by 60 people, gives me 20. So 20 people chose Godzilla Minus One. Let's do one together. I asked 120 people who their favourite musician was. Here is a pie chart of that data. So we're going to look at how many people chose Billie Eilish. Can you remember what the formula is? Hopefully you said angle divided by 360 multiplied by our total number of people. Let's get our protractor on. Have a think about what the answer is for our angle. If I start with 0 and follow all the way around, I can see I've got 120 degrees, my angle. How many people did we ask in total? 120. Okay, what should I do next? We should do 120 divided by 360, because that is our angle, 120 degrees, over or out of 360 in a circle, multiplied by 120 people that we asked, which is going to give us 40. Let's do another one. What's our formula for calculating the number of people? Angle divided by 360, or angle out of 360, times by our total number. Put your protractor on and measure the angle for Lin-Manuel Miranda. Okay, I've got 90 degrees, and it should be quite easy to see because it's a right angle. It's like an L when this goes backwards. So my angle is 90 degrees. How many people did we ask in total? We asked 120. So what should we write down? Hopefully you've said 90 out of or over 360 multiplied by 120, which is 30. Let's do Tyler the Creator. Write down your formula. Put the protractor on. I've got 0, count round to 60. So I've got 60 degrees. We know we asked 120 people. So what should we write down? I'm going to put 60 out of or over 360 multiplied by 120, which is 20 degrees. Not 20 degrees, 20 people. Lastly, let's do Queen. Put the protractor on. How many degrees? start on a 0, follow it round to another 90. It's going to be the same as the number of people that chose Lin-Manuel Miranda as their favorite artist. So 90 over 360 times by 120, which is 30. Okay, let's have another go at this. So, how many people chose Ultra Kill as their favorite game? Write down your formula, measure the angle. You should have got 100 degrees. How many people did we ask? We asked 90 people. Have a go at putting down an answer. You should have got 100 divided by 360 because it's 100 degrees out of 360 degrees multiplied by 90 people, which is 25. Let's have a look at how many people chose FIFA. Here's the formula. Put your protractor on. How many degrees did you get? I got 120 degrees, and I know that we asked 90 people. So what should we do next? You should have 120 out of or over 360 multiplied by 90 people, which is 30. Let's look at VRChat. Put the protractor on. How many degrees did you get? I got 80 degrees. So, how could we calculate how many people chose VRChat as their favorite game? I've got 80 over 360 times by 90. 80 degrees out of 360, the number of degrees around a point, multiplied by our 90 people. And lastly, let's look at how many people chose Adopt Me as their favorite game. Let's get the protractor on. How many degrees did you measure? I've got 60. Have a go at finding how many people chose Adopt Me. I've got 60 over 360 multiplied by 90, which is 15. Let's look at drawing a pie chart. I'll have a go first, and then we'll do some together. I asked 60 people what their favourite genre of TV is. Here are the results. Draw a pie chart. So we've got reality, tokusatsu, sport, and horror. I'm going to extend my column to put angle in there, like this. Let's focus on reality TV first. So we've got 10 people out of 60 that chose reality. So our formula is number in category divided by total number of things times by 360. The easiest way of thinking about it would be it's 10 people out of 60 people. So 10 out of 60 people, then multiplied by the 360 degrees that we get around the point that we get in a pie chart. 60, so that would be 60 degrees. Let's look at tokusatsu next. So I've got 15 people that chose tokusatsu. I can write out my formula, but it might also be easier to think, well, I had 15 people that chose tokusatsu. They're really into Kamen Rider. And I asked 60 people in total. So I got 15 out of 60 multiplied by 360 degrees, as you would get in a circle, which is 90. Get a right angle. Let's look at sport. So here's our formula. I know that 30 people chose sport out of a total of 60. So 30 divided by 60, then multiplied by 360 degrees is 180. Let's look at horror. So 5 people chose horror out of 60 people in total. So I would do 5 divided by 60, then times by 360, which is going to be 30 degrees. Let's look at how we would actually go about drawing this now. So here is my circle to start off with. I'm going to find like the midpoint in the middle and draw the radius. So that's like half the distance across from the middle. I'm going to put my protractor on so it lines up with that 0. And I'm going to do reality TV first. So I'm going to start at that 0 and go round until I get to 60, which is here. I'm going to label it reality. It's really important you remember to label it. Let's look at tokusatsu next. I'm going to realign my protractor, put the center of it of the protractor in the center of the circle, and align the 0 with one of the edges of the reality TV segment of the pie. So I'm going to put my protractor on. I'm going to look for 90 degrees. There it is. I'm going to label it tokusatsu. Let's see how we're doing with sport. So I'm going to put my protractor on, go round from 0 all the way around to 180, and it ends up here. Take my protractor off. I could go out measuring horror, but I know that we've got all of our angles here add up to 360, so I don't really need to. I can just label it horror because that's what's left over. Okay, let's do this one together. I asked 120 people what their favourite film is. Here are the results. So we have Twilight, Shin Godzilla, and Attack of the Clones. Let's look at Twilight first. So I have 40 people out of 120 that chose Twilight. So I'm going to do 40 divided by 120 times by our 360 degrees, as you would find around a point, 120 degrees. Let's have a look at Shin Godzilla. So 30 people said Shin Godzilla. How many people did I ask in total? I asked 120 people. What do you think we should do next? Hopefully you said 30 divided by 120, then multiplied by 360, which if you do that on your calculator would be 90 degrees. Let's have a look at Attack of the Clones. So how many people said Attack of the Clones? It's not 30, it should say 50. How many people did we ask in total? And then helpfully, we should have 50 over 120, then multiply by 360. Ignore the rogue 30 there. Let's go about drawing this on. So we're going to find our midpoint in the circle and draw our radius on. Put your protractor on. Have a go at marking on 120 degrees. Okay. Label that section Twilight. Now let's have a look at doing Shin Godzilla. So put your protractor on. It should look like this. Measure out 90 degrees and mark it. It should end up here. Label this section Shin Godzilla. By default, we can label the rest of it Attack of the Clones because there's no other categories to put on.